Mountain bikers, my name is David Davidson. I'm going to show you how to transform dangerous drops into easy, fun, and predictable features where you have no fear, and we're going to do it in one practice session. We're going to use a technique called curb cruising, and I think you're really going to like it. My name is David Davidson again, and I'm the co-founder of Mountain Bike Academy. So we're going to show you a safer, easier way, and we're actually going to do it safely and easy. Because if you can do this technique off of a curb, then you can do this technique off of a gigantic drop.
Boys.
Or a fast drop, or any drop that you care to do it on. So let's dive right in. Now, here's the thing. I didn't come from some like mountain biking heaven to deliver you this message. I actually came up from the ground, very small amount of distance from something called a curb. And what I accidentally fell into was this progression of building this skill set up on a curb before I took it anywhere else. Because when I went to school for engineering, in between classes going over curbs, and I did this 100, 1,000 times before I even went to a real drop, and I found that, hey, it works here and it works everywhere else. And so what I found when I was actually doing drops for the first time, I found that it was really, really easy for me. And I immediately knew how to do drops. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, wait a second. I actually did probably 1,000 drops off of curbs, hundreds, if not thousands of drops off of curbs before I ever took it to the trail. It just happened to be that way. And so I wanted to share this with you because, you know, there's a lot of intermediate riders out there that are stuck. And if you're watching this video, you're really going to like what I have right here. So let's dive right in and take a look at it. See, most of the usual guides you're going to find online are going to talk about body position. They're going to talk about what a drop is and how to do it. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into it. I want you to get off your bike and I want you to walk up to the curb, keeping your feet in a riding position, stand on top of the curb and roll your bike down over the curb a few times and feel what it feels like to hold your torso in one position and to feed the bike down by pushing the hands down over the curb. What this does is it shows you how to keep your feet stable, supporting your torso and moving your hands independently. Why this is so important is when you go off of a drop, this is the exact kind of move you need to do to articulate the motion and be proactive. The reason why riders crash on a drop is because they become reactive. In other words, we hold still and the drop ends and we ride off of the end and we fall forward, go over the bars, regret our decision and, you know, think, why did I buy this bike? And then your wife tells you, aren't you too old for this? And then everything falls apart. Probably not that bad, but it's really bad. So we can skip all this frustration by simply getting really dialed on how to move over the curb. So did you feel that? What did you notice when you pushed the bike over the curb? Now, my thought for you, by the way, is to go ahead and learn from this video, and there's going to be a few techniques I'm going to assume that you already have. Now, if you don't have these, I covered them in depth in my 12 backwards beginner basics video. So pay close attention in that video to skill number 1, 2, 8, and 11. You will need all four of these. Sorry, you will need all four of these videos in order to put the skills together and make everything I'm about to show you happen. Now let's break this down into phases. When we're curb cruising, the first thing we want to do is a basic roll down. What a basic roll down is it allows us to get in control, get low first, and then push the bike over the drop. This is something that you can use right away on trails wherever there's a small drop less than the axle height of your front tire. You can just do a roll down over 100% of those and be totally fine. Now, why this is so important is because it allows us to put our torso where it's about to need to be. I call this torso tracking. Torso tracking allows us to feel fluid and smooth on the bike, and it looks really cool too. So when you're going over a drop, all you got to do is get really low. I want you to kiss that stem. That's right, pucker up, loved ones. When you do this, what's going to happen is you're going to lower your torso down, and it gives you room to extend your arms down. Go ahead and practice this on the curb 3, 4, 5 times. Hopefully you notice that you can keep your head still and you can move the bike away from you as you go over the curb. Now, once you've done this a few times, what I want you to feel is a smoothness in the torso. If you struggle with this, again, go back to the other video after this one. Pay close attention to the pedal press, especially because it's going to give you that balance that you need to do this drill properly. Now, how this should feel is that you should keep your weight and your balance centered over the bottom bracket. In other words, you can support your torso using the core. And if you really struggle with this one, it might be because you're sitting at the desk too often and you need to reprogram your body. And if that's you, if you believe that mountain biking is mobility and strength first, you're in the right place, because that's what we believe here. The second drill we want to do while curb cruising is we want to do a standing spring and lift the front wheel and float it using our feet. I want to be very, very clear on this one. This is not something that you want to pull with the hands. It might look like I'm pulling with the hands in the video. The bars are coming up to me. And for all of you out there who are like, can I do this on a hardtail? Here's a video of me doing it on a hardtail as well. What you want to do is stand really tall and drop your torso like this. And then once you drop your torso, you want to violently and quickly press through the feet and stand up as tall and as fast as you can. And then hang out and wait for the front to just come up to you. Now, side note, if you go really, really slow, the front wheel eventually is going to come down too quick. So you want to have a little bit of speed going over the curb just to test this one out. Now, once you've gotten this front wheel lift down, again, if you're struggling with this, go back to my other video. It shows you exactly how to do the proper front wheel lift technique. It'll help you a lot. Once you get that down, then the goal is to land both tires at the same time. If you can land both tires at the same time 20 times in a row, you can do any drop with this technique, provided that the launch is predictable on the trail. So if you have a 20-footer, if you have a 10-footer, if you have a long drop, a fast drop, this will be useful for you in any of those situations. I want to be very clear. That's all you have to do the drop. It's really simple. Now, side note, if you want to go deeper and know how to control the bike in the air, once you're in the air, you're going to need to go watch my video on deleting drop danger, and it's for a little bit more advanced drops so you can stay connected with the bike. So check that out when you get a chance. Now, I'd be remiss if I skipped the punch technique. It's also called a lunge. It's also called a million other things. Some people call it a manual, but really in reality, what it is we're delaying the drop of the front tire by moving our body weight backward or by pushing the bike forward, however you want to think about it. And that floats the front wheel out so it doesn't tip down on us. So what you want to do with this one is come in with some speed, and you want to stay low the entire time. With the standing spring, we want to start tall. With this one, we want to start low. As you come up to the drop, what you're going to do is punch those hands out and then bring it back midair. And again, your goal is to land both tires at the same time. Got to be honest here, my form is not perfect. My scapula is protracting, and it's not the best form. So the lesson here is you can get away without doing great form, and it's still okay. Sometimes you just look wonky on the bike. Now, once you're able to do this 20 times, then you've reached pretty much a new level. And I think personally, this is a really good technique for going slower because it allows you to delay the drop. And if you practice it and you feel good, then it's something that you can take to the trails. The other part though, this one has a higher cost on your athleticism. The standing spring is just, can you bounce? With this one, you have to be able to time it perfectly. You have to be able to hold the position without having your body break down. And quite frankly, if you sit at a desk 3, 4, 5 hours a day or more, and you have weak glutes, tight hip flexors, and you feel like this is a stretch for you, no pun intended, that was terrible. If you feel like this is a stretch for you, this is actually a problem of your athleticism, not your technique. Again, so many YouTubers are going to talk about the technique when 100% it's your athleticism. If that's you, you're in the right place because we believe that mobility and strength first is what will make you a great mountain biker. So welcome. I want to talk with you a little bit about how to put these two moves together, because if you put the two moves together, you can go slower and use less of each one of these moves. And they kind of combine nicely. So what you can do is start off a little bit more tall and then do the standing spring, have the front wheel bounce up to you, and then delay the front wheel drop by just pushing your hands out ever so slightly. And what this will do is it'll delay the front drop until it comes down, which gives you some more time to make adjustments and use your body awareness. Just go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page. You're gonna notice in the description, if you click more, there's going to be the links to those other videos that I referenced. I really love doing these. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps me get this out to more mountain bikers. I think I'm gonna change it. Let's go for it. We're on a mission to help 1 million mountain bikers shred with confidence. I gotta change the description on the top up there because it says 10,000. Help me get it out there. Help your mountain biking buddies get better at mountain biking. Because look, there's like millions of mountain bikers in the world, and it's a whole lot harder than we are good at it. Let's change that together. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.